everything can change in a moment. Theodore Roosevelt did everything he could to be ready for that moment.
Theodore Roosevelt is born into privilege and great wealth.
A very sickly child, so he had to put up his dukes and fight.
Roosevelt saw himself as the embodiment of America.
He was the exemplar of the strenuous life.
He suffers loss. He suffers grief.
Here's a man who had everything: education, wealth, opportunities.
But he felt all of that must be used to help the lives of the unfortunate.
Fairness, justice, equity is what drove him.
He woke up every day of his life saying, "Bring it on."
That is just the beginning of a new Theodore Roosevelt documentary that premieres on Memorial Day on the History Channel. The 5-hour television event provides an in-depth biography of President Theodore Roosevelt. And joining me now, we have author and renowned presidential historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, as she and Leonardo DiCaprio co-produced this documentary. Doris, we're honored to have you. Thank you for joining us here. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so glad to be with you. I'm excited about this documentary coming on.
We mentioned your co-producer, Leonardo DiCaprio. How did you two team up to do this? Is this something you've been planning for a while?
No, the great thing about Leonardo is that he loves history, and he really is interested in Teddy Roosevelt, finding him such an interesting character. So having somebody from that world caring about history, and then me having spent my entire life loving history, it's a great partnership with the History Channel and Radical Media, the production company we were working with. It's really been a fun project.
And I know you go way back with learning about President Theodore Roosevelt. How did you first get interested in him and start that journey?
I think there was something about the turn of the 20th century. I was teaching a seminar way, way back when I was a professor at Harvard on the turn of the 20th century, and it's a time so much like ours. You have a gap between the rich and the poor for the first time because of the Industrial Revolution. You have people in the city feeling suspicious of people in the country. You have all these new technological inventions, and it's a really tumultuous time. And Teddy Roosevelt came along and was able to exert the idea that there should be fairness, a square deal for the rich and the poor, the capitalist and the wage worker, and he tamped down a lot of the divisions in the society, so much like ours today. He took a train around the country and gave the same message everywhere, and somehow the country was able to come together on rational reform that was needed for the industrial era. So I love the time. It's an incredible time, and this character is so interesting, Teddy Roosevelt. So it was 40 years ago I started being interested in him. Didn't start writing about him until much later.
I was so surprised by, as we kind of mentioned in that preview clip, he was born into privilege, but he was able to get the respect of everyone, the poor and the rich, as the same as it sounds like his father was as well. Do you think that is his legacy he left, or what is the biggest thing he left us as a country?
Yeah, I mean, some people would argue that the legacy is conservation. He's really the first president. He put aside 230 acres of land. The Grand Canyon was saved. The national park system was served. But in a certain sense, I do think the legacy is that he was able to come from that privileged background, and through experience, through going into the tenements, through going through the slums of New York when he was police commissioner, through being a cowboy for a while out west, through being a soldier with the Rough Riders, he embodied all the different parts of America, and he felt empathy toward people that were different from the people he had grown up with, and then he wanted to make a difference in changing their lives. And it's one of the most important qualities in any leader, I think, to be able to understand and feel other people's point of view. He worried that democracy would be at risk if people in different sections and regions felt that they were the other rather than as common American citizens. It's what we're feeling today. So if we could bring this character back today with his great sense of being in the center, his ability to be a celebrity, his entertaining, his self-deprecating humor, we'd be in pretty good shape.
I felt inspired by him. I thought maybe I'd just watch a little bit of the documentary, send a preview over for us just to get an idea. I was taken by him and ended up watching the whole first night right there in one setting. So thank you for putting this together so we could all learn more about him.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. I mean, he's an interesting character. He wanted to be the center of attention everywhere he went. They said he wanted to be the baby at the baptism, the bride at the bride at the wedding, and the corpse at the funeral. And we sort of couldn't take our eyes off him, and I think that's what you'll feel when you watch the documentary.
It's so good. Doris, again, thank you for being here with us today. You can catch this presidential documentary. It starts on Memorial Day.